much. Hit it, boys.
You see this Lyle CROCODILE trailer?
I did, actually. I saw it before the movie that I went to yesterday.
You went to a movie yesterday.
I did.
Well, this is airing on Wednesday, so you saw it on Tuesday?
I did see it on Tuesday.
Nice, me too. I'd never heard of
No, I didn't. I lied. I'm a
When'd you see
liar crocodile. I went on Monday.
You went to the movies. All right, so
Wait, I'm lying again. I did go yesterday.
there's no way you're doing a movie and Better Call Saul on the same day. You went on Tuesday. You probably went early Tuesday.
I did. I went 12:15 on Tuesday. Everything sucks.
All
My
right.
brain sucks.
It's just one of those days.
That's right.
Do you know what song that is?
One of those days.
Yeah, just one of those days. You said everything sucks. Just one of those days. I was waiting for you to go, when you don't want to wake up, everything's fucked,
Limp
everything.
Bizkit.
And I was going to say, no, it's that Monica song. Just one of those days. But not that. Look, I want to talk about Lyle CROCODILE because few trailers grip me from the jump. I'm like, what's this now? And then they said Shawn Mendes 400 times for the rest of the trailer. And then they're like, and that's right, we got Mendes. And it's a kid's movie with a crocodile. It seems like it's got Paddington vibes. But it's like a yeah, I know. They're going for the Paddington thing.
Listen, pal.
They're going for the Paddington thing. It's like when people are like, hey, Maggie Rogers has Haim vibes. You must really like Maggie Rogers. And I'm like, first of all, you're kind of sexist for making that observation. You're just saying like, hey,
She's a woman.
there's another white woman making music. Isn't that crazy? And she also remind you of Lady Gaga? Is that also what you're getting off old Mags?
I do have a real bone to pick with the Lyle crocodile trailer, but I'll let you continue.
No, go ahead.
It has a good cast. It has a pretty strong cast. It has
This is not a horror movie, by the way. We haven't said anything about the movie.
Javier Bardem,
Yes.
which would lend to it being a horror movie. Crocodile and Javier Bardem, pretty terrifying right off
Yeah.
the jump. The mother is very familiar. It's Constance Wu. Constance Wu is in it. And the husband does not get a billing in the trailer. It does like Javier Bardem, Constance Wu, and Shawn Mendes as Lyle the Crocodile, when it appears that Constance Wu is married to Scoot McNairy.
Yes.
In this movie, and we gotta stop. We gotta stop ignoring Scoot McNairy, because Scoot McNairy has been awesome in pretty much everything that I've seen him in, and he deserves a lot more credit. I just watched Narcos Mexico, which probably makes me higher on the Scoot McNairy train than a lot of other people because he's amazing in Narcos Mexico. But we got to start showing Scoot McNairy some respect.
We don't have the board yet, but I think it's time to ring the bell to ask: Is this thing underrated? Are we sleeping on Scoot? Everybody,
I think we are.
Let us know. Are you
on Scoot.
do you personally do you sleep on Scoot? Don't sleep on Scoot, because I'm a Scoot McNairy guy too.
We are scooters.
We've all Viva la Scoot. We are for two things. We're Stoolbarg Stoolies.
We stool and we scoot.
We stool and we scoot. Scoot's in this one. Also, I thought you were gonna say Brett Gelman is in this.
Yes,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Brett Gelman, famously from the "I Love You, Honey Bear" music video by Josh
Brett Gelman
Tillman.
has a very weird energy, partially by choice, but also I think partially, I don't know what that guy's deal is.
His choices, not in life, but I guess professionally. I'm like, so is this just what you're getting offered, or are you very selective in being like, I need to play this type of character?
Yeah.
Because he's the pervy, sad radio guy you
Right.
love.
Yeah, so like if something were to come out where Brett Gelman got canceled, it wouldn't shock me.
I think
that's not me throwing anything out there or like trying to slander this guy's name, but it could be a real like hiding in plain sight sort of situation.
Another way of putting it is if there were something that were to come out about Scoot McNairy, even if it were like the Chris Pratt stuff where people just like decided they didn't like him.
Yeah.
So they like photoshopped tweets and stuff. If there is something came out, real or not real, I think that cancel culture would be very quick to be like, yes, well, obviously, and jump on him and not really do much fact checking. Quick little bone to pick. But this has been percolating for a while. I don't know if I hate anything more than the cancel culture conversation. On one side, you have people complaining about cancel culture that I'm like, yo, like, it doesn't need to take up every second of your brain that, like, cancel culture, but, like, that side is very stupid. And then there's also this, like, increasingly loud group that pushes back against that with, there's no such thing as cancel culture.
Cancel culture doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, the increasingly common, everybody's wrong on this thing. Like, of course there's a thing where people take joy in finding something bad from somebody's past.
You know how Donald Trump once said, very stupidly, there's good people on both sides? Yeah. I'm very accurately saying there's bad people on both sides.
Oh, yeah. Of course. I mean, y'all can guess which side I most closely identify with. But, I mean, as far as, like, and I'm not saying that, like, canceling somebody is always a bad thing, but I think there's people who have, like, an appetite for, who are we mad at today? And
there's an appetite for how can we, like, ruin this person forever? Like, how can we make sure they never do anything again? Or rooting for them to never do anything again. Like, I think there's a difference between rooting for somebody to face consequences for shit that they've fucked up on in the past, but, like, rooting for them to never get an opportunity again and, like, essentially throwing the baby out with the bathwater is also not very cool.
So I say that to say this. What do we really know about Lyle and his past?
Fair.
Should we get ahead of canceling Lyle before Lyle even hits the theaters?
Lyle's probably got some bad tweets, man.
What's Lyle?
Like, you know when Twitter was like, when it was like, here's what I had for lunch today?
Yeah.
Lyle was tweeting out pictures of, like, little boys.
People, yeah.
Yeah.
Ate a person today. Hashtag, God bless the food chain.
Hashtag yum.
Yeah. Love it.
God bless the food chain.
Yeah. Lyle better hope the phone wasn't eating first, because if he's documenting that, then...
I don't know much about Lyle CROCODILE, which I don't know if, like, is it just Lyle or is it Lyle?
It's probably just Lyle, CROCODILE, question. No. Lyle CROCODILE.
If I had to guess, I don't know much about Lyle the Crocodile, but my assumption would be that, like, he was born in captivity somewhere in the United States and was raised by Javier Bardem's character.
Well, I learned today.
Okay.
Today I learned that Lyle CROCODILE is a children's book
yeah,
written by Bernard Weber. It was first published in 1965.
Okay.
Mr. Know-It-All. It begins with, did you know about this book? I didn't.
Yeah, I did,
meaning like
arm's length.
Oh, Crocodile arm's length or Pete arm's length?
Pete arm's length. Not much longer, though.
They are very similar.
Very similar. No, like, as a kid, Lyle CROCODILE was a children's book that I was aware of.
So maybe you had friends who read it, but you personally weren't checking it out?
Right, I was not a Lyle stan. Like, I Queen's Gambited Lyle.
Interesting. You were like, I'm going to wait for this to all die down. Yeah. They're like, but Shawn Mendes. And you're like, what about Shawn Mendes?
He has not even been born yet. I'm 12
Shawn
years
Mendes
old. So Shawn
Mendes
Mendes
is dead right now.
Right.
He doesn't.
Shut the fuck up about Shawn Mendes. He does not exist.
That trailer really, by the way, it wanted so badly to use the word introducing. And I bet that it had such, like, an introducing Shawn fucking Mendes.
I think they do, like, and with Shawn Mendes as Lyle the Crocodile.
I think they were doing like everyone's waiting. Who's it going to be?
My question is, how many kids, because this is definitely a kids movie geared towards kids, how many kids are watching that and being like, oh, fuck, Shawn Mendes? Like, most kids, I would assume, don't know Shawn Mendes. That's a real teen energy.
And most kids don't know that these characters are voiced by, like, real people.
Right,
I think they know that, like, it's a thing on TV. I'm not going to see, like, Buster Moon in real life, but that's if you were to tell me, hey, like, You know it's McConaughey, right? Kid's gonna be like, fuck.
The big celebrities are more of a draw for the parents, I believe, to get like the parents in the theater to see what
Ooh.
that's about.
That's a good call.
But like, how many parents are like, ooh, Shawn Mendes?
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe there are like youngish parents, but like, are like mid-30s people going crazy for Shawn Mendes?
I mean,
Also, like, why have Shawn Mendes? Like, the biggest appeal for me for Shawn Mendes is not hearing Shawn Mendes sing. It's just seeing Shawn Mendes' face, because that guy is just outrageously good looking.
he's a good-looking guy. I'm not a parent that I know of, but
Cheers, brother.
you know how it is. But my take on that preview was like, calm down about Shawn Mendes. I think you guys are more excited about Shawn Mendes than we are right now. But you think that maybe Lyle Crocodile is doing the Mercedes ad commercial thing where they pay John Hamm for his voice?
John Hamm has a great voice, though. I guess
Yeah,
Shawn
it is
Mendes
true.
does have a great voice, a singing voice, I suppose.
You know what? Shawn Mendes got off that road.
What road?
Got off the road.
What road?
That road? He's not on that road anymore. He got off the road.
Oh, yeah, he canceled the tour.
His
Yeah.
tour. And that's intriguing to me because he's one of like maybe like 40 people who don't need to tour. Like I wonder if he's going to do like the Beatles thing where he's just like, I don't have to tour. I get a lot of money just making music, so I'll just do that.
I don't want to speculate too much because it did seem in like the release that he put out.
It
That
was a mental
health
thing.
related.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if that was his decision that he needed to take a break, good for you, Shawn Mendes.
Yeah.
But,
But I'm saying
I mean-
it could be like a not right now thing, or it could be like a, hey, like tour's really taxing on me. It just doesn't agree with my lifestyle, whatever.
We famously did see Shawn Mendes in concert once.
That's true. He was to our left as we were walking towards Lil Wayne, maybe?
No, he was to our left as we were walking to the TV tent so that we could watch the
That
Boston
is
Red Sox.
correct. The Red Sox. No, is it the Red Sox?
Boston Red Sox
Yeah.
and the New England Patriots.
They're playing the Chiefs that week, brother.
Were they?
That was a big one, yeah.
Okay. So it was,
Brady v. Mahomes,
Okay.
if you can imagine.
hell yeah, brother.
The GOAT
We had the
versus
Red
Tom
Sox
Brady.
versus the Astros in the American League Championship Series.
Those
And
were good.
then,
Those were good hangs, man.
And then Tom Brady versus Patrick Mahomes as we watched sports at Austin City Limits. People were going nuts for Shawn Mendes at Austin City Limits. A big crowd.
Yeah, he was one of the the whole family goes
Mm-hmm.
to see Shawn Mendes.
Also, the whole family went to go see. Was this at Lollapalooza?
Lala was Alessia Cara.
Alessia Cara. The whole family went to go
Just
see
like
Alessia
fat
Cara,
clouds.
except everybody was smoking weed,
Fat
and there was
clouds
like
for the
8-year-old
biddies, for the little
girls.
babies. Yeah.
That was incredible.
Hey man, if you can't take the clouds, stay out the Alessia Dome.
That's right. That was a very unexpected Lyle Crocodile conversation. I assume that it was born out of going to go see Marcel the Shell with shoes on, which is also an unexpected journey for the podcast this week. I was just bored yesterday, and I was like, I'm going to see what's in theaters. I was just like purely fascinated by Marcel the Shell with shoes on and whatever the hell that was. And it was playing one showtime at 12:15. So I was like, if I'm going to go check this out, it's got to be like right now, or else I
Love that
probably will
feeling.
never see it. And I went. Surprise of the century. I guess not really a surprise of the century, but very surprising how much I enjoyed that movie.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that movie to the high heavens. Loved it, and it was a movie that I probably just wasn't going to see.
Yeah,
And
same. That's what I'm saying. Like it was like,
I'm so glad that
now
you
or
saw
never.
it, and we're like, hey, I saw this, and I was like, did that just come out, or has it been in theaters? Have I just been overlooking it or whatever? And then I was like, oh, it's that weird one. Okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, you saw it. I'll go see it.
So, like I said, I was surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I'm glad that I did not know that it was an A24 movie heading in, because otherwise I would have been like, okay, this is going to be like the best, because every A24
Give me
movie
the crazy shit.
is the best. I did know Jenny Slate was in it. I did know Marcel the Shell was cute as hell,
Mm-hmm.
but this movie was fucking cute as hell. This movie was A real delight.
Can I say, and I guess we'll give some little backstory. It's this little shell that lives in a house that is Airbnb'd out, and this shell's grandmother lives with him, and a aspiring filmmaker, or like not aspiring, he's making films.
Yeah,
a filmmaker, just not super successful.
Boots on the ground.
Is staying at that Airbnb, comes across Marcel, is fascinated with Marcel, and starts to do a documentary on him. And it's just a lot of seeing this little shell live, and it's all stop motion. I can't imagine the years and years and years, and I do know that it took years for them to actually make this movie. I could tell right off the bat, I was like, this was a short film. This was initially either going to be a short film and they just stretched it out, or they got more money or something. I think they made a 3-minute short, and then people liked it, so they were like, okay, let's do a full movie with it. And the voice is done by Jenny Slate. You were like, I just need to know how this happened. So I started to research it a little bit.
Yeah.
She came up with the voice because she and a bunch of people were saving money staying in one hotel room, and it was like bunch of people, and there ended up being way less space than they expected, which, do you not know how hotels work? Those things
Always
are famously
tiny.
small.
Yeah.
But she said she started doing this voice that was like, oh, like there's no room. Okay. I wanted to, and they said the friends loved the voice, and the person she made the movie with, who was either dating or married to at the time.
Yeah.
They ended up being married for like 5 years.
I believe it was the short film came out when they were dating.
Okay, gotcha.
Because they were married for like 5 years. I want to say like 2011 to 2016.
Yeah. But he ran out and went to like a random store and just got a couple of things, and like took a toy and added like the feet from a toy to the bottom of it or whatever, and he just made this
real Sir Collect-A-Lot energy.
Yeah, right, totally. I was watching an interview with her, and I was like, this is big time Sir Collect-A-Lot. If you don't follow Sir Collect-A-Lot on the gram, gotta do that. It's our friend Miles who makes toys.
Bizarre toys.
He made a toy for the bear recently, and that one was popping off. People were going crazy for it. But yeah, he just stuck a bunch of stuff together, and he was like, okay, it's a shell with one googly eye and little feet, and that's it. It is adorable to watch. You know what my favorite part of the movie was, though?
I do not know.
This was a great visual movie.
Yes.
Sonically, buddy. Whoever called the shots on the audio side of that movie, it rocked. So it sounds like Jenny Slate super close on a mic like this, like barely making any sound, and there's so much fucking compression on it that like you can hear every time the tongue touches or her teeth or whatever, like any like breathing in, any little breath, all of it is equally loud. So it just sounds like we're not gonna be able to do this because we're not gonna add like compression and shit to it. But like, look up any clip from the movie and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Well, like, do you think that was done purposely because it's shot in a mockumentary style?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
They're trying to make it sound like he has like a mic pack on or something. But Jenny Slate is doing it so quietly that everything is then boosted up so you can get her speaking, but you also get every little sound, and a lot of people would edit that out and they'd like get rid of the breaths and stuff, but it sounds so awesome. And Jenny Slate, we've discussed her many a time. That person can do no wrong.
Yeah, she is awesome. This movie, I mean, just very wholesome, a lot of good messages, just very sweet. Will maybe make you cry.
Dialogue's really funny.
Yeah, like all the characters, and I thought that was pretty great that Dean Fleischer Camp, who is the creator of Marcel the Shell, is like the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy in the movie who is like doing the filming. Like, it's just like a very cool, wild story. the entire like production of Marcel the Shell, as well as the actual story itself.
And it makes you happy that somebody believed in the idea, because that's like one of those ideas that probably strikes a chord with us where it's like, ooh, that's like, it's accessible in that it's like a cute thing, but also it's done in a very weird way. And if they wanted that to be like the next Pixar thing, there's a million things they could have done differently. But this is a movie and project that seems like it really kind of stuck to its guns and was like, no, this is how we're going to do it.
And it's like a movie that can absolutely be enjoyed by both kids for like the Marcel the Shell character, but also for adults. Like, we are adults who are talking about how much we love this movie right now. And just from like a production and technical standpoint, it is a like fantastically well done movie.
I bet adults like it more than kids.
Probably.
I do wonder how much appeal there is for kids, because a lot of it is mundane,
but a lot of it also is just like very cute and looks cool. So like I feel like
super
kids probably will just like the appeal, the visual appeal of Marcel the Shell.
Yeah, I was into it. Marcel, really fucking cool, is a big Eagles guy. I like that. At the end, there's a death, and Marcel eulogizes them by singing "Peaceful, Easy Feeling." Loved that. I just identify with Marcel. Like I just like vibe with Marcel in a bunch of different ways. I'm a
very deep, like slightly depressed character.
Right, and he says right off the bat, like, "Hi, like I'm Marcel. I like myself. I like it has like a very friendly disposition, but is also like, oh, I'm just kind of doing what we probably should be doing, and I just want everybody to be okay, and I want to keep a positive outlook." There's a great thing where Marcel goes viral, and someone comments on the YouTube video and signs it "Peace and Love."
Yes.
And Marcel's like, "Oh, that's real productive." Oh, it's a good thing that you noted that. Oh, so you're pro peace? Is that what you're saying? I was afraid that everybody else who didn't sign it "Peace and Love" are saying like, "Hey, let the battle begin."
Let the war. I'm very big on war. I'm gonna start signing all my signatures with war.
So I
Marcel.
like it's just a very human character, because there's that.
I did really like the commentary on like social media, the internet, and like, what does he say? Like, an audience is not the same as a community. Like,
oh yes,
that was a very
bold,
that was
not bold, just deep.
Yeah, very deep, and it has a lot. It's a smart movie that's like very cute, very wholesome, but also has like valuable commentary. This movie kind of just like hits a lot of boxes.
Yeah, I loved so Marcel. Now that Marcel is all popular and everybody likes Marcel needs people's help, wants to find his parents, and does some live streams. Marcel just kicking my ass even. Marcel more productive than me in the Twitch space, just sticking to a schedule, doing streams. And the big thing is, like, if you have any information on my family, this is where they were, and it's like a picture of the house, and this is where I think they went or whatever. And of course, the internet says, "Oh, well, that's what the house looks like. Let's go try to find Marcel the Shell. Let's find Marcel the Shell's house." And they do, and everybody's using Marcel the Shell's house as like a landmark,
like
or
a background for the
Jackson
TikTok
Mahoming,
dances,
like big time. So he's looking out the window and says, "Yeah, I gotta say, this was not the task force I was hoping for." And it's like a kid filming another kid doing the
floss or whatever. It's some stupid shit.
Like this thing,
like the
twist the arm thing?
the Fortnite
Right,
dance,
yeah.
basically.
So, like, they're doing Fortnite dances, and he's like, I mean, I was looking for help here. This is not what.
It's so good. 5 stars for Marcel the Shell from me. My
Did you
question
put that
is,
in writing? Did you?
I did.
Back on Letterboxd.
Letterboxd, yeah.
Ooh.
I 5-starred it on Letterboxd.
I 4.5'd it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wow! Check out this fucking tough guy over here.
Tough cookie.
My question though is it eligible to be nominated for Best Animated Movie?
I mean, I believe it's called stop motion
animation. So like it should be.
Let's see.
But like I don't know like the rules for that when it's like half stop motion or half animation with live action. I don't know if like that falls into the hybrid category or whatever. Like I don't know.
It's a good question. I mean, you get real people in animated films all the time. So
Right, I can't remember like the last time.
one can cross into the other. Why not make it a two-way street?
That's right.
Seems pretty exclusive.
Yeah, if it is eligible for best animated movie, I would expect to see it at the Oscars.
I would hope it doesn't even need to win.
No, but I would just expect to see it at the Oscars. I definitely want to see it get some love, especially because I assume that it's the directorial debut for Dean Fleischer Camp, so that'd be a very cool story.
Let's see. What else does Dean Fleischer? Is he?
He doesn't even have a hyperlinked Wikipedia page. So
let's see. He's an award-winning filmmaker.
He's won an award,
right? But I believe it was for making
this movie, or the short.
Let's see. He's known for. Oh, he's directed other stuff.
Ah, okay.
He did Fraud in 2016. I don't know what that is, but
I did just see that he was hired to do the Lilo and Stitch remake.
Oh, love that.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch anything about Lilo and Stitch?
I saw the movie. I had like one of my I want to say like my 7th or 8th birthday party was at the movies to go see Lilo and Stitch.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, and this is where like the age gap gets weird. Like when you go to, all right, when I was 5 or when I was 10 or whatever, because Lilo and Stitch, I remember was like I'm too old for this. I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where. If I were a kid now, I would do being a kid very differently, because as an adult,
I'm basically doing.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say I'm basically doing a kid
Being
as
a
an
kid.
adult, but
Yeah.
I'll rephrase that.
Being a
I'm
kid.
being a kid as an adult. Like I'm seeing Marcel the Shell, playing a ton of video games.
Yeah.
Like just like living a kid life.
It's so insane though, like the judgment that, and I don't know if it's more about being a kid or just how times used to be, and I'm positive younger listeners, viewers, whomever will not understand this because it's just impossible to understand. So that's not a them problem. But like just the judgment and like the weird ways in which we like set up these rules. I remember like the one of the big like DJ is his own fucking person. He don't give an F about nothing. If he likes something, he'll just go for it. One of like the pillar things like that for me legitimately was liking Billy Joel in high school.
Really?
That was like that was like the risk I took. That was like an appreciated risk. Like you go up to other kids in my school and just be like, so what's with DJ listening to Billy Joel? And they'd probably be like, actually, no, they're probably less understanding, but they'd be like, oh, I don't know, he's a free spirit, man. He's just like, back then, like liking Lilo and Stitch, if you were too old for it, would be unheard of.
You'd be shunned. You'd be shunned from society. I mean, like even think back to when we did this podcast in the early days. Like we did like a full episode. I'm just like, hey, if you like fruity drinks, man, go and drink them. And
those
free.
were like takes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It'd be like, damn, I'm glad somebody's like finally speaking for us. But like now, it's just like, I don't know if it's where we are at our age or whatever, or if it's just like where we are in a society where like, yeah, that's not a fucking take, obviously.
Yeah, I mean,
and like if people are pushing against that, they're probably being the ones that are like dunked on for being like, why do you care what I'm drinking? So like, I don't know. Maybe it is being an older thing, but like, it seems like people care a lot less about what other people are doing.
Or yeah, it's just like this very weird wall that I think is being broken down. I hope. Where like you understand that like everybody's a different person and anybody can be anything.
Right. And like if you're like a heavy metal guy, like it's okay. Like if you fucking drink fruity drinks or like you like Carly Rae Jepsen as well. I think there's like more of an understanding that people are not like just fitting into a box or being a stereotype. Like I think again, I really don't know how much of this is like because I'm older and more
And because
understanding of
you,
these
right,
things.
yeah, you care less about those
Right, yeah.
walls.
Yeah, right. And like I'm less surprised to find these things out about certain people.
Yeah.
But like years ago, I was pretty surprised. Like, oh damn, like that person likes X and also Y.
Yeah.
Not really a cross section that I would expect, but like that shit happens.
Let's hear a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Y'all know you're talking to a couple of fellas who like taking care of their minds. Take care of your mentals. Who's the player that said that?
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch was saying,
Yeah.
take care of your mentals.
Yeah.
Take care of your mentals. Well, Marshawn Lynch famously once said, take care of your mentals. It's the type of thing that we try to do. We take care of ours by going to therapy. There's a million different ways you can do it. I'm not going to treat you like a dummy, but you know the ways that we can take care of ourselves
and if
the
you
importance
don't,
of it.
Ask. Like,
Yeah.
If you don't know, we'll be happy to talk to you about it, whether on here or privately. Like,
Yeah.
always down to help kind of open up about that shit.
Oh yeah. I get this less and less frequently now, and it makes me happy that I get it less frequently. But from friends, I used to get like I'd be asked for like tips on like how to be depressed or whatever, because they'd be like, hey, like you're obviously depressed, or like you more. To be fair, it was more like you talk about it, or like you acknowledge that you're depressed.
Yeah.
How do you do this, or how do you deal with this, or whatever? And I get those questions less often now, and I think it's probably because everybody, they're less inclined to think, oh, well, I can only go to one person for this. I need to find another depressed person. Like, most people are going to be understanding about it.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of ways to support a healthy brain, like learning a new language, taking power naps. Tell you what, man, I'm always blading, but I've been blading a little extra harder of late, trying to break that daily sweat. That can help. There's also BetterHelp online therapy. Going to therapy, obviously, is a good way to essentially go to the gym for your brain. And I think that it's very sad that not everybody can go to therapy. So BetterHelp is very, very useful because it's an online therapy that offers video, phone, even live chat-only therapy sessions, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It can be as minimally invasive as you would like it to be.
Fun little fact,
Yeah.
BetterHelp was my first step into therapy. It was my introduction into therapy because, like, wasn't totally sure if I wanted to do the therapy scene, and I was like, okay, I had heard of BetterHelp through the podcast, so let me dip my toes in the water, see if it's for me. Turns out was definitely for me.
Oh yeah.
And so BetterHelp really kind of like helped grab my hand and pull me into the therapy world. So I very much appreciate them for that.
But I bet when you quickly needed to get into the therapy scene and wanted to find something for you, I bet it took really, really long, huh? With BetterHelp?
No, it did not at all.
It did
very quickly.
It happens quickly. In fact,
that's a rare thing these days.
Yeah, you're matched with a therapist in under 48 hours with BetterHelp.
Yeah, and that's like a crazy. That was probably one of like the big things that helped me to get into BetterHelp, was because I was like, all right, I don't want to wait like 2 months to see a therapist, because I don't know if you're listening and you've been like trying to find a therapist recently. I don't know what it's like now, but even like a year or two ago, like when at the height of COVID, I think a lot more people were willing to go to therapy and try it out. Finding a new therapist, one who is booking new clients, was fucking impossible.
And then there's the thing of, it's kind of like joining a gym. Then there's the thing of finding somebody that you like,
right?
And you're like, well,
right
how long?
Fit.
Yeah, and you could think there's so many reasons to not see a therapist, or that you can give yourself to not go and find help, talk to a therapist. But BetterHelp legitimately keeps that list very, very short. They're like, okay, well, if you need if you don't want to wait, you don't want to go through the hassle of trying to find somebody.
They match
we're
you
getting
with-
you somebody very quickly.
They get you somebody very quickly, and if you don't like that person, they'll switch you very quickly, which is a big one too. Because a lot of the times, if you find a therapist that is not good for you or like not the right fit, it can be fucking discouraging.
Yeah.
It can be like, oh, I took this
Been
this leap of faith, and like I'm not being rewarded for it because like this therapist is not gonna work for me. It can be discouraging. So BetterHelp will help you switch therapists very quickly as well.
You get it in short order. It's inexpensive, or I don't want to use the wrong word, but it is a lot more affordable than
accessible
in-person therapy. And yeah, it achieves something that like I currently really, really like my therapy setup, and a lot of when I think about it, I do feel bad that not everybody has that, and there's, especially in the United States, there's so many reasons why people can be unable to have that. Some of it can be their own stubbornness, some of it can be the
health insurance,
some stigma that still exists, but mostly it's like financial
health insurance,
Yeah.
like that kind of stuff, which are building blocks that should not exist.
Right.
Like there should be. We talk a lot about like health insurance and whatever.
We do talk a lot about
not
health
us, but like
insurance.
society. Americans talk a lot about health insurance and the barriers there. The mental health barriers are those should not exist.
Totally agree. So our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/brunch. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com/brunch.
I'll tell you what, BetterHelp got their money's worth with that ad read, which was not even an ad read. It was an ad read, but it basically turned into a segment.
It was a sponsored conversation.
Yeah.
But who sponsored it? That's the real question.
That's right.
It was Joybird. Just kidding. BetterHelp.com.
We'll bleep that out.
Stupid Joybird. At what point can we like talk shit about Joybird?
Oh, I think that ship is already well on its destination.
We were never mean to Joybird.
We were never mean to Joybird
They're
until
just like,
until
we
we
don't like
were.
this thing that you're doing, or we're just like, we kind of
Okay.
got like a little like reality TV on them. It's like, oh, sorry, we're being real. And then we were babies, and then they were babies, and then I can't believe.
Here's what happens when you put two podcast hosts in a house with a company that nobody's ever heard of that makes overpriced furniture. That's when shit gets real.
So I don't even know if they're over. Like I don't even know.
Oh,
if
they are, because I've heard like people come back like after we had like the blood feud. People were
Yeah.
like, "Yo, I went to joybird.com. That shit is so expensive."
Yeah, you know where you should get your furniture? Target. Target. They have everything else too. They got cereal.
IKEA.
Yeah, they got cereal too, probably.
Guess what? They also don't bring the showroom to you. They don't just dump all of their furniture in your living room.
That was a fun thing that we
That
would
was a
do.
great
Just
bit.
like,
That's what I miss the most about
imagine
Joybird
waking
reads.
up in your bed and you are surrounded. You can't step anywhere because there are couches
They brought
being
the showroom
stood up
to
on their
you.
sides to fit in.
There are strangers in your house just looking at all your furniture that you have no idea how it got there.
This showroom also has complimentary popcorn. So there are salty snacks all over your home, your bedroom, just out in the open. That little glass door for the popcorn machine is open. May contain insects. Get them. Man, just want everybody to be happy. Just want everybody to
Except Joybird. You guys can be miserable.
tell you what, who do you want to defend more here? Diane Warren or Taylor Swift? Because famously everyone's mad at both of those people right now.
I don't even know who Diane Warren is.
We've definitely talked to a little Diane Warren on here. Diane Warren is let me try to guess this Wikipedia page.
The only Diane I know is Diane Sawyer.
Diane Warren
Or Diane Coffee, sorry.
True. Diane Warren is an American, how would it be? I'd say singer and songwriter, best known as being one of the most prolific songwriters in American music history. Let's see what I think that they'll call her a singer because she also has put out music. Diane Warren is an American songwriter, musician, and record producer. Yeah, I didn't land that. But Diane Warren is a very famous songwriter and has written everything.
Okay.
Wrote Because You Loved Me. Wrote I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Okay.
Wrote If I Could Turn Back Time.
Ooh.
Writing a lot of songs sung by women and Steven Tyler. So, the other day, Diane Warren tweeted, "How can a song have 24 writers?" Eye roll emoji. And guess who got really mad at her and called her racist and just like destroyed her life for the next 3 days?
Would be Taylor Swift.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, Taylor Swift, please. That would involve Taylor Swift. No, I'm not going to. It's going to take a shot at Taylor Swift for why doesn't Taylor Swift work with work with women producers? Just a little observation.
That's a good point.
Hey, come on. Anyway,
who did it? Phoebe Bridgers?
The internet.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm sure Phoebe Bridgers was like probably champing at the bit to
fucking
get in
asshole.
on that. But people perceived it to be a shot at Beyonce because
I did see a picture, by the way, the other day of Maddie from the 1975 with his hands covering Phoebe Bridgers' boobs.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know what's going on there.
I don't like any of that. I don't like any of that. I don't like any of that.
The picture that was posted of like Phoebe Bridgers, Maddie, Bo Burnham, I forget who else was in there, but
I like parts of a lot of the things that you're saying.
I know, but I like saw that picture and I was like, oh, this is DJ's fucking nightmare. I think you ended up sending me that picture after I had seen it initially, and you were like, I don't know if it was Wayne's tweet about it was like. Blunt circle from hell.
Yeah, nightmare blunt circle.
Yeah, nightmare blunt circle.
I can't remember if that was one of the responses or quote tweets because I think people did react to that accordingly.
Yeah, right. They were like,
this seems like a bad time.
It was either one way or the other. It was like, oh my God, like this is everything.
Oh, they know
this
each
is
other.
everything. And then the other side was like, ugh, no, too much.
Yeah.
I can deal like all of the people in that like blunt circle were like the outlier in a normal group. Like,
oh yeah, bring them
like,
into. If my friends are hanging out in Bo's there,
right? Cool. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he brings that energy. If you see Phoebe Bridgers in like a quote unquote normal circle, you're like, oh damn. Phoebe Bridgers, hell yeah! Like Maddie is with a quote unquote normal circle. They kind of like bring a little bit of cred to like an everyday circle, but when they are the circle, that's too much.
Yeah, I
too
hate
much.
to use the word insufferable because there are a lot of things like insufferable is an extreme case of it, but like I always think like the word annoying, we wouldn't have a word for it if it weren't a thing. So describing something or somebody as like, oh, well, that person's annoying or that's whatever. It's like, it's mean because it's like, well, it's a fucking thing. I don't think that they're like trying, but like you can choose to be insufferable.
And I think so insufferable is more of a choice. Annoying is more of like a disconnect.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, like, not to offend you or anything, but I'm sure you've been described as annoying a lot of times.
Definitely by boring people.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a disconnect because like if somebody is not your vibe, then
you're like, how is it something wrong with them?
Right. Like it's the problem's not with me. It's with them. They're annoying.
Yeah. But that picture with we got Healy and Bridgers doing photos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. That is going to be.
If that is a thing or
and
becomes
for that
a
reason,
thing,
I'm out.
that is going to be a real test of patience.
Like romantically?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I have no idea what's going on there, but I don't know if I want to know. But it would be a lot. It would be a lot.
Yeah, I don't want this to be a mean conversation.
I also just don't know what Maddie's deal is in that department either.
I mean, they've worked together.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like, where he falls on the spectrum of, like, sexuality.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I rarely care.
I rarely
which
care, but
celebrities
now
are
like
dating
I'm
each other and stuff.
I'm left wondering.
But yeah, again, I don't want to be judgy and like shit, but like that whole thing, a lot of the Bridgers stuff is like, aren't we so cool? And I'm like,
It is.
maybe. I don't know. Just can we just be nice? And
Which
I don't
is
know.
a very funny comment to make after the discussion we've just had.
I know.
Can't
but
we be nice?
Yeah, there's just like a lot of bad, maybe well-intentioned, but like destructive, toxic
destructive
energy
yes
there.
Yeah, I would say destructive is the perfect word. There's a lot of destructive energy in Phoebe Bridgers, a lot of destructive energy from Maddie, not Bo Burnham so much, but like
Yeah,
the weird energy.
but I don't know. Just being like, yo, we got everything. We got Cut Rate Father John Misty. We got like, I don't know.
We should, for next week, our homework should be to come up with our own personal individual
Nightmare
blunt circles.
I like that.
Yeah.
Patreon people, get on patreon.com/listentobrunch. Although it stinks because we'll probably end up stealing people from yours if we say what would they be. But
Wait, think on it, and
Yeah.
then after next week's episode, post your nightmare blunt circle.
we'll post the day of the episode, and we just won't check the Patreon that day until we're recording the episode. And then once we say ours, we'll look
check
at yours.
Patreon. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah.
All right. Also get on the Patreon for the Better Call Saul content. Really, really popping off. It's been a real party.
Also, this is the week to do it because this is the penultimate episode coming up next Monday. It's going to be a huge one. It's directed by Vince Gilligan. If you're not already in on the Better Call Saul content, you've got 2 episodes left, which means you got 2 post-game shows left, and they're probably the biggest 2. So now's a good time to hop on. Patreon.com/listentobrunch. Any tier above the $5 or more will get you into the Better Call Saul post-games.
It's a good time, and people have been participating, asking good questions, leaving good theories. I still think that this may contain spoilers. It will. This next episode is going to be a Kim episode.
Yep.
Maybe entirely.
You see the title?
Kim. Right.
The title is called Waterworks. And
right.
we found out in this past episode that Kim works at a pool company now.
Right.
In the Gene timeline. Yeah. So I don't think it'll be entirely Kim. Like there's going to be like maybe it starts off largely Kim, but I do think that we're gonna get some Gene and Kim.
Yeah, I think we get a bunch. I don't even know if it'll be Gene and Kim. Maybe that's what the last one ends up being. Maybe they use the second last episode to just do Kim. Gene gets in contact with them, but I'm more and more inclined to think the farther away I get from that episode that the phone call was him talking to Kim being like, yo, you suck. What the hell's wrong with you? And basically her rejection of him once again leading to him being ridiculous and worse, because for the rest of that episode, he was going off the handles in ways that just didn't make sense. It was just still calculated, but a lot stupider than he ever is, and really clumsy. So maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like his kryptonite is Kim rejecting him, and that makes him do really, really stupid things and make bad choices.
Yeah, I mean, like that's what we've learned throughout this the past handful of episodes too. I mean, because after she rejects him initially, and she's like, "We're not good for each other," that's when he fully steers into the Saul Goodman character and is like sleeping with hookers and getting like an outrageously like
tacky,
cringy and tacky house, and like it seems like he's really desperately trying to fill that vacancy that Kim left.
What is your Breaking Bad / Better Call Saul nightmare blunt circle?
Tuco's in there because Tuco, like, if there's any sort of spice in the blunt, Tuco is gonna fly off the handle and probably kill everybody in the circle. So it might honestly just be Tuco.
I was gonna say we could just load it up with like murderers and just be like, you probably don't want to smoke a blunt with these people. Tuco would be a really, really bad time. I think that if we're doing like dream blunt circle, give me Bill Oakley.
Okay.
You know that he's good with those snacks.
Yeah.
He's got those chips. That
Yep.
boy stay at the vending machine.
That's true.
Dream blunt circle, you want Jesse there. He's coming with the Funyuns.
He definitely is. Jesse would be in mine for sure. I bet
Kim would be a good.
Kim would be a very good
Yeah.
one. I would say even what's his name? What's the kid? The assistant, Chuck's assistant?
Oh, Ernesto?
Ernesto. I bet Ernesto, like after just like a long day of getting berated by Chuck,
Yeah.
would hit the blunt and be like so chill and kind of has some funny stories to share.
We see that he gets that energy out. I mean, you give him the mic
Oh,
at
yeah,
karaoke,
that's right,
and he's
karaoke,
letting
yeah.
that thing fly. A weird blunt circle would be like you, Tuco, and Ernesto. Just the three of you.
Yeah.
Who's the first person to speak there?
Tuco.
And when I say you, I don't mean like the collective you. I mean like Pete.
Yeah.
So Pete,
It'd be-
Tuco, and Ernesto.
It would the first person,
Tuco's definitely
possibly
the
the
first to speak.
only person to speak would be Tuco.
Yeah, I could see, and I'd be the same way, not being able to muster the courage. Oh,
or just like when you get high and you're like, okay, I have to be very selective of every word that I'm saying.
right, like
so
I'm
that
talking too much, but you don't. I'm talking at all.
Right. Yeah. It's like you really want to be like, I'm very high. I need to be very careful about what I say and make sure that nobody knows that I'm super high. So like I have to really think about it. And like this process of thinking about it has taken
plays out
45
over,
minutes.
yes,
has
3
taken
hours.
45 minutes. You have not spoken in 45 minutes and everybody's like, that guy's so fucking high.
Yeah. I'd like to do like a double-sided mirror type thing where I could just like put
Watch.
a blunt circle in another room. I'm putting Tuco, Ernesto, both of the twins or brothers
God.
that Tuco they call Tuco's abuela a biznatch. Putting them in there. Oh, stupid Betsy Kettleman. Remember her?
No.
She's the worst. She's in the begin. That's the person who Jimmy is trying to trick into hitting the brothers, and then he was
on
gonna
the
scare.
skateboard, yeah.
But she's the worst. They end up famously getting hit by Tuco's grandmother and calling her biznatch.
No good. Don't want to do that.
Let's see. Who else? You know who I'd like in my blunt circle? I'd like Schweikart. What's his first name?
Damn. Dale?
I think it's There's Schweikart and Coakley. Let's see. Rich.
I
like Rich Schweikart.
I like Rich's. I like the cut of Rich's jib.
I'd like to just split a blunt with
Absolutely.
old Richie Schweikart.
Rich has like very calming energy. He's very well spoken. Just has like a very zen energy to him.
Yeah.
You know who might be in my blunt circle is the guy from the bank. Shoot, what's the big guy with the cowboy hat? When like the big account. From Kim.
What's their big account? Shit. Mesa Verde.
Mesa Verde. Yeah.
No, Mesa Verde.
No, that's Mesa Verde.
That's the bank.
Yeah, that's the bank. And the big guy with the cowboy hat, the Texan. I believe he's from Texas, but like that guy, I bet would be a great blunt circle guy.
Would you want Clifford Maine there?
No,
He might bust out the guitar. That's how he blows
especially
off.
no. Yes.
It's just you, Ed Begley Jr., who does not know that you're treating him as his Better Call Saul character, Clifford Maine, and there's a guitar there. He doesn't know what's going on, but you both have to smoke weed together.
No, thank you.
Where are you putting Stacey Ehrmantraut?
No, nowhere.
She's got to be in then probably your nightmare blunt circle.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
got-
closer to the nightmare one than like
got-
the dream one.
Tuco, Mike's daughter-in-law, and Ernesto. I feel bad putting Ernesto in any sort of nightmare blunt circle.
can I put Mike's granddaughter in my dream blood circle?
Because hopefully she's not going to take any of it.
Yeah.
But then you're just getting really high in front of
A child. Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, it was more of a joke.
Where's Howard going?
I would take Howard in my dream one.
He might have a drug problem. We don't know.
It's true. Then you're on the hook.
It certainly looks like
then you're on the hook for liability.
By the way, Kevin is the
Mesa Verde guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know who's definitely going in my nightmare one?
Gus.
Is the doctor, the vet.
Oh my God, that guy
would
as fuck.
So I'd be like, oh, let me guess. You know,
all he
about
does
this weed.
All
yeah.
he does is complain and like fucking
tell you why this is a bad idea.
Yeah, speak down to you.
Yeah, I don't want that, man. As long as there was like security, I would love to have Lalo. I'd love to
because I would
a little pot with.
I would get a
Lalo.
little high and I'd be super in my head about like. Is he being charming because he's gonna kill me?
Yeah.
Or is he being charming because he's
like,
the most charming human?
Don't
like,
fall for any.
You're
of
right.
this.
Yeah.
Don't like.
Yeah. I'd be the most paranoid around him.
You know, I would. I'd do a little bit of pot with Werner Ziegler.
Oh hell yes, that's a great addition.
He'd be.
Absolutely.
I would just love to. This is a thing I do sometimes. If there's like a cool person, I say that's the kind of guy I'd like to get a beer with.
But
That's my thing.
absolutely, because him grabbing pints with Mike was just fucking like that's the ideal grabbing a pint with a guy.
Yeah, so I'd grab a beer with
like
him.
all they would do is sit at the bar and like lock their attention into something like at the bar, and it's all they would talk about for like an hour. That's what you want in like a pint partner, because you don't have to come with any show notes.
Yeah.
You don't have to have topics of conversation. You lock into something at the bar, and that's all you talk about for like the hour.
All right, so Nightmare Blunt Circle. We're looking at Tuco, the brothers. You know what? I'm gonna toss Spooge in there. I don't want Spooge in my Blunt Circle. Do you want Tyrus there?
No, too terrifying.
Tyrus, what? Like, you want to talk like someone who's not gonna talk the whole fucking
Yeah,
time?
I know. Yeah, Tyrus would be in my nightmare one just because he'd be fucking terrifying.
You know who's top of my nightmare one other than Tuco? Nacho's dad, because he doesn't want to be there.
Very judgmental.
He's like, so I guess we'll all sit around and smoke drugs together.
I don't know though, because like it really could depend. Like he could be a weed only kind of guy. Like he could probably get down with weed.
I would love if Nacho's dad was just like a big, hey, legalize it, brother. That was like his like the only way that he cuts loose is like, hey, I give you some new leather seats, and then after, maybe we can hit the bong,
spark it
peace,
up,
brother. Yeah, he's doing a lot, always throwing up the peace sign.
It has to be pre Nacho death though, because post Nacho death.
Shoot,
like,
man, I'm easy going. I don't care. I haven't seen my son in 4 weeks. Peace, brother.
No, like because once the thing goes around and it gets to Nacho's dad, he'll probably be like, "No thanks, that stuff killed my son." Like he's probably staunchly anti-drugs after the death of his son.
I don't want Mike in either of these things.
No, I mean I love Mike. I would rather grab a beer with Mike than smoke with Mike.
I'd be interested to see like what Mike could fashion a joint into, like
into a gun.
How are you turning this into something
that can kill me?
I'd like to like smoke a little weed in front of Mike and then just watch him do something.
Yeah, you know how they say,
like, where is he going? What's he doing?
Weed has never killed anybody.
Yeah,
you give Mike Ehrmantraut a blunt, and he's finding a way to turn it into a murder weapon.
Oh yeah, that thing plugs into a wall outlet within 5 minutes.
Yeah, Nacho would be an easy one to put in my dream one.
Yeah.
Nacho's just a dream person.
I love Nacho, man. You know that Nacho, that Michael Mando is a Canadian boy?
I did not know that.
The scar above his eye?
Hockey. Wow.
He's playing too much hockey with the boys. His dad was probably like...
We don't have a hockey podcast, but if we did, we should get him on that podcast.
Famously, Nacho Varga, first guest, Michael Mando. We tried to get him on this.
Yeah.
So
I believe he said no.
get. Knowing that he was not on this podcast,
I believe
remember
he was a hard no.
I remember when we tried to get him, we were like, "Yo, no one's heard of this dummy. Perfect. He's gonna say yes." And I think he was just maybe like, "Nah, I'm just gonna kind of take life as it comes right now." And I was like, "I appreciate that, but just do this podcast first."
Yeah,
I agree with where you're coming from.
100%.
So let's discuss that on the
podcast.
You care to come on to discuss Taylor Swift? Everybody mad. People are big into PJ emissions.
Yeah, I know.
You hearing this?
Yeah.
Because Kylie Jenner did something stupid, so they were like, "Who else can we mad
Same
at?"
with Elon Musk. Kylie Jenner, Elon Musk, and Taylor Swift have all gotten got on their PJ emissions.
Yeah, because I think that Taylor is the biggest culprit. Is that it?
Yeah, she was like named on Forbes, whatever, like the biggest carbon waste polluter or whatever.
Yeah, and I think that people kind of get it twisted when they talk. They're like, "Oh man, she's flying around so much," but I mean, Taylor Swift. Got to get places somehow. It would be a miserable existence if she were to fly coach or anything like that. But I just find the only part of it I find funny is that it's just like she's taking very short trips in a private jet. So the memes have been outstanding. Have you seen any of them?
I have. You sent me one.
A lot of like planes flying very low to the ground with like Taylor Swift going for coffee.
Yeah, Taylor Swift going to get her mail.
Oh yeah, that was a big one.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like I think that it's like very funny to like scrutinize the way that that like rich people are wasteful, because they're probably wasteful in 1,000 million different ways.
Yeah. Do you if you have a PJ though, are you even using it that often? I know a lot of people are like, "Yeah, I'd use it, to flex. I'd use it to show like, hey, oh, what? This plane has a golf course or whatever. I'm doing it." Like, I'm fine flying, but I don't want to like push it.
Yeah, I know. Same.
I'm fine flying like a normal amount. I don't want to like quadruple it.
Yeah, right. And I am like, anytime I can avoid flying, I'm usually doing it. I don't know if that changes like with the PJ process. I'm sure it's a lot easier and less like stressful than having to go to the airport and like go through TSA and security and all that shit. Like I'm sure like it's a lot simpler and less of a headache when you've got a PJ.
Hop on the PJ.
But here's the thing, and I had this conversation like last week actually. If I had PJ money, I don't know if I would use it for PJs, because most of the aviation accidents that you see happen
true.
in the PJ game.
They're done in the like independent sector.
Yeah, like in the private/independent sector. Because commercial flying, there's a lot riding on that going well for like the pilots. Obviously, I mean that's probably the case for PJs too, but like you're killing a lot more people
Stakes
if you get in an
way
accident.
higher.
Yeah, and like your company could go under for like if like American Airlines has a crash, like their stock is gonna fucking crash.
Yeah.
So like the chances of getting into an aviation accident, I would say, are significantly lower if you fly commercial. So if I had PJ money, I'd probably just fly first class everywhere.
I think that I'm kind of with you. Well, it also depends on what's your ease of life in the public, just in public. Like if you're
Right.
Taylor Swift,
Like you
still
still can't fly first
that
class. Like
it's very hard to be among a bunch of people,
Right.
Because a lot of people have been marketed to very well and are under the impression that you're like the greatest songwriter ever. So
you're gonna get mobbed at the airport,
going to
like
get
even
mobbed.
on the plane. If you're in first class, you're gonna get like mobbed. You're not gonna have security. It's not gonna be as comfortable. Like I understand.
So her, I'm like,
that.
yeah, like you gotta like send for a lot of stuff, and when you do have to travel, you gotta do either the PJ thing, or remember when there was the rumors that she was being carried around in a box?
Yeah, that was great.
And Father John
For
Misty,
like a full year.
yeah, but Father John Misty tweeted that it wasn't her because it was Lambie.
He's the best.
My favorite rivalry, by the way, I almost tweeted this the other day, and I was like, this would go squarely in the just text it to one or two people category. My favorite rivalry in sports right now is Father John Misty's Instagram run by whatever social media manager runs it versus Father John Misty's Instagram because Josh Tillman has the password. To
Yes, yeah.
it will post something that's very much like
A
don't
press
miss
release.
Father John Misty or whatever, and then like the first comment is something insane from the same account.
Yeah, or the next post will be like him looking like he just like got off a 4-day bender, and it's like him in a gym being like, "Grind, don't stop," with like a million different like exclamation points.
Has he done shit like that?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my god, he's the best. Very, very funny. They're touring soon. They're coming around.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Get your tickets. We got a message today. Got a DM on the brunch Instagram. It was just like, "Hey, you guys got me into brunch, and I just saw him at Red Rocks. Let me tell you,
Father John Misty.
yeah, the Rocks. What's that?
He said you got a message saying that we got them into brunch.
Yeah.
No, we got them into Father John Misty.
Did I say that we got them into brunch?
Yeah.
Well, we did.
Yeah, true.
No
yeah,
lies
that's
detected.
True. That was the precursor to getting them into Father John Misty. You're right.
Yeah, but they said the Rocks were really red, and that the tunes were good,
Okay, cool.
and that the friends were good. Everything was strong there. On the Taylor Swift thing, I think I don't just bully. Don't bully anybody unless there's sometimes bullying's okay. I guess. If
Yeah.
it's like
Definitely.
trying to like right a wrong or something.
Yeah, like sometimes bullying works.
So like
Getting the actress from West Side Story to the Oscars.
Right.
Internet bullying. It
Right,
worked.
okay.
She
So,
got there.
If like you're trying to right or wrong, get the right people's attention or whatever, I think it does probably seem like it's more of like a PJ usage problem than a Taylor Swift thing. I don't think that Taylor Swift came up with, maybe she had a co-writer on it. Just kidding. Damon Albarn reference. I don't think that she just came up with like, hey, I'm thinking a bunch of short trips on PJs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we good?
And in case you're wondering, the only PJ emissions that I'm giving out are when I fart at night.
From having peanut butter and jelly.
No.
You can't spell PB and J without PJ. You didn't know that.